Hello guys and gals, my name is Jack Bullen. Welcome back to the Mr. Worldly Wise Editorial. I'm your lovable goofball Southern Baptist kid, and this is Boris in the Dark Survival. Now, I know, I already reviewed Bendy. Why am I talking about yet another game in this series? Well, to put it bluntly, my other video that I'm currently working on needs a bit more time, because, you know, stuff and things. And then, this game was like $3 on Steam, so I bought it and here we are. Now, how did this fan game sounding looting simulator pop up into existence? Well, it was released in the wonderful year that was 2020, pretty much as the filler episode to appease the appetite of the starving Bendy fans as they continue to work on Dark Revival. And it worked, The game came out, people played it, some loved it, some hated it, and then it just kind of faded into obscurity. And then Dark Revival came out, put Security Breach to shame, made bank, and now they're aiming to wrap up the series with Bendy 3 and release a handful of spin-offs and even a movie to go out with a bang. Let's just hope they actually mean it and don't overstay their welcome. It's a pretty good plan if you ask me, but what does Dark Survival have to do with this? Well, on April 14th, Joey Drew Studios released a game called Bendy Secrets of the Machine, a little teaser game giving us a tiny bit of lore on a character named Riley, and teasing upcoming titles like Bendy 3, Bendy the Silent City, the movie I'm pretty sure, or some other thing like The Cage coming out this year. And on a little poster on the side, Boris the Lone Wolf, with Dark Survival scratched off.
He's back! He's back!
And at the time of writing this, that's all we had, until the Meatly went on Twitter and just confirmed a bunch of stuff with this upcoming title, which I'll put on screen now because I'm too lazy to go look it up. But, regardless, I still want to defend this game with what little time we have left with it because it is a genuinely good game. Because it is a good game, and I feel like it just came out at the wrong time. Now sure, this was around the time that the company was having its issues, which, if you want to know more about, I would highly recommend Chris Portal's video on it. I failed at bringing it up on my Dark Revival review, so now I'm rectifying it. So please go check it out. It is around almost 4 hours, though, so I would definitely set aside time doing so if you want to watch it. Moving back on and talking about Boris, the main gist of this game is that you play as Boris the Wolf as you explore the studio in a top-down camera angle as you search for supplies that you'll need in order to survive down here in the studio. However, Bendy will be lurking around posing a threat to Boris, and he'll need to hide in one of the many miracle stations scattered around each of these randomly generated levels. Along with this, however, you can find 7 pieces of scrap paper that make up that creepy mural you can see in Chapter 3 of Ink Machine, which then collected plays a cutscene that is the quote-unquote ending of the game. And that's it, that's the base game, but like I said, they did release 3 DLCs that provided much more stuff to do. Kinda. The first one was the Wolf Trials, which added new collectibles, having to find tapes inside Boris clone corpses, which when all found unlocks another pursuing enemy, being Miss Perfectionist herself. It also added ink carts in this game where if you collect enough, unlocks the Projectionist Room, as another area to explore. The second one was Unleashed, which again added more collectibles to find, this time some keys to unlock a box containing the Butcher Gang, allowing them to pursue you in the studio as well. And along with this update, we got another character we could play as, being a lost one. And the third and final one was the Symphony of Shadows, which, you guessed it, added more collectibles for us to find, and in doing so, unlocked another playable character, Sammy Lawrence. And we also got some new dance moves and music, which, is probably the best thing that came out of this game. So yeah, nothing too exciting, but it is nice to see that they actually did care enough about this game to give it updates. But with all of that out of the way, let's actually talk about the actual gameplay of this game. Like I said, it's basically a top-down scavenger hunt combined with a game of hide-and-seek. Your controls are simple. WASD, or the arrow keys, are your way of moving around. Shift to run, and E to interact. But, if you're able to, I would highly recommend using a controller for this game, as the keyboard can kind of feel a bit wonky, but, play how you want. The environment itself can be pretty interesting at times, but other than that, it can kind of get a bit repetitive, but the art style kind of makes up for it. The Stalkers could honestly use some work in their AI, which they are fixing in the big old update they're doing, but they're still very effective in what they're programmed to do regardless. And I do like how they have a bit of a difficulty level to them. Like Bendy is your base level Stalker, but you can get away from him pretty easily if you have enough stamina. Alice is a bit faster than Bendy and will definitely kill you if you're not careful. The Projectionist is easy mode, and he's the slowest out of all of them, and he's only limited to his own levels, it's being very rare for him to spawn in normal levels. And the Butcher Gang is hard mode, as there's 3 of them, and they all patrol each area of the map, making it very easy to get spotted. and making it much more difficult to gather supplies. So yeah, again, all the enemies are good at what they need to do. And so now moving on to the characters that you as the player are in control of, first we have our lovable boy Boris, and again, each character you play as has some form of difficulty to them. Boris is your default character, having a fairly quick walking speed and run, and you can find his favorite bone and he'll carry it in his mouth until you decide to log off. It doesn't do anything, but it's a nice accessory. Next we have the Lost One, and he is the hard mode of the characters, being very, very slow while walking, but super fast while running. But your stamina depletes a lot quicker though. And then we have Sammy, and he is complicated. He's the only character to have a special ability, being that he can teleport via traveling through cracks in the wall, and that's what your stamina is used for. And to make up for taking away your sprint, your walking speed is upped a fair bit, making it to where you can still get away from, say, Bendy and the Butcher Gang, but one wrong move and he'll get you. But if you're near a hole, you can just teleport out of there and into safety. You can't really get away from Alice though, so there's a bit of challenge there. So Sammy's more of a gamble character if anything, which makes the game a lot more fun, I guess. But what about the story of this game? It's solid, I guess? This game doesn't really have a story, hence why this isn't the standard review you're used to from me. And even the little story bits we get, it's already stuff we talked about in my Dark Revival review, albeit very poorly done. So if you want some Bendy story, I guess go check out my Dark Revival review. Now, the soundtrack, it's good for the game. A Safe Place is my favorite track. It's calming, yet reminds us that we are alone in this inky world and that there is a constant danger. Did I mention the art style already? Well, if not, it's top tier. Could possibly compete with Spider-Verse? Hey buddy, how you doing? I didn't actually mean that. It was just it's just a joke, Scott. And so, to wrap up my thoughts about this game, gameplay, it's a 7 out of 10. Could use a bit of touch-up, which they're doing. Story, 3 out of 10. Again, not really much. Music, 6 out of 10. Solid for that lonely feel, and the chase themes give off that sweet, sweet anxiety. Graphics, 9 out of 10. A fantastic art style, and it's only gonna get better. And finally, overall score, it's an 8 out of 10. A fun little $3 game to play if you get bored. It can get really addicting at times, so overall, I recommend it. Thank you all for putting up with me once again. I know this was a shorter video, but like I said, my other script that I'm writing needs a bit more work, and then so hopefully I'll be able to get that out soon. And I think I speak for all of us when I say thank you for your patience with us during this hectic time of the editorial. Our schedules right now are just all over the place. So just again, thank you for your patience and your support. We really do appreciate it. And so, until next time, like, subscribe, comment potatoes in the comments. I've been the Gameboy. I love you. Thank you. I'll see you later. Potatoes. Thank you and good night.